Because I know actually a good amount of people watch in that format, and so I'm trying that out. But if you're in the wrong one, know that the other one is live, so you can go jump over to the other one. Wow, there's a lot of comments. My mic's not working. Wait, it's working now? I didn't even do anything though. All right, this platform is being weird. It's not a live coding Elevenses if I'm not experiencing weird mic issues. Anyways, I'll start over again. Welcome to live coding Elevenses. I didn't even do anything. I didn't click on anything. Anyways, okay. First, what I was saying was welcome to the live stream. If you're watching this on a phone and you're seeing this in a horizontal format, or if you are watching this on your desktop or a laptop, a computer, and you're watching this in a vertical format, like a portrait video, know that you are on the wrong one. So go back to the YouTube channel and then click on the other stream, and then you'll find the right format. Because right now I'm using this new feature on our streaming platform that allows me to stream to both vertical and horizontal formats. And there's actually a surprising amount of people that watch these live streams on their phone. And so I wanted to give everyone that option to be able to watch in the format that they like. So there you go. Anyways, I know it is pretty snazzy. Hey, Ben. Yeah, okay, so what we're doing today is we are jumping into Advent of Code. If you don't know what Advent of Code is, and I'll share my screen now, is, which one's better? This one? We'll do this one for now. Advent of Code is a yearly challenge where the creator of Advent of Code at adventofcode.com creates a bunch of puzzles for people to solve using whatever means they want. I primarily do it in JavaScript because that is the main programming language that I know, but I've seen people do it. A lot of people do it in Python. A lot of people, I know, what's his face? Nick from one of the Discords is going to try this in Java. I've seen one person try to do this in Flow Designer, which was pretty funny. And they didn't get very far, to be honest. But it's a great way for you to practice your coding skills. And I like to practice JavaScript because I think it's important to still be very aware of all of your JavaScript skills, especially in the world of AI. So I'll do this aside really quick. I think it's important to keep practicing regular coding. As much as AI is getting better and better about coding things from scratch and being able to do complete products, and then you just review it at the end. You can't really do the review if you don't know how to read the JavaScript, if you don't know how to read React, if you don't know how to read the code that it produces, HTML, CSS, all that stuff. So it's good to practice. I like practicing that stuff. And Advent of Code is a very fun way to practice because it requires me to think outside the box a lot. And so if you go to adventofcode.com, you'll see this website. It starts every year. They have a little ASCII art, which is really fun to do, and it reveals every day. I'm already 3 days behind because I wanted to wait for this stream. But usually, in the past, there would be 24 puzzles for 24 days of Advent. This year, the creators said that they are only going to do 12 puzzles, which ends up still being 24 because there's 2 parts of each puzzle. Because of how complex and hard it is to create these puzzles. And you can just jump in. If you want to see how I do things, I have a repository on GitHub, earlduque/adventofcode. You can go to the description of this video, and it's posted there. And you can jump in there. You can even download it to your desktop and see how I set up my VS Code to be able to participate in this quickly. Plus, this has all my solves on it, plus some of the instructions and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm going to jump over to my other screen real quick so that I can share my VS Code side of things. All right, there we go. Yeah, okay. What if you have to think inside the box? Yeah. Oh, real quick. Okay, I got this question on here. Where's my Hacktober badge? I want to show off social. The plan is to get those out this week. Both of the showrunners for Hacktoberfest have been gone for weeks, including myself, because of travel for World Forums and then Thanksgiving break. So I'm finally back. This is my first full week. And so a lot of those tasks are getting done this week. So sorry about the delay, but they're coming. But yeah, okay. So I shared the wrong screen. Hold on. VS Code. There it is. Okay, cool. So here is my VS Code. I will make it easier to see. All right, so on my VS Code, I have it set up with a fun way to run it easily, so that I can do puzzles, get to the puzzle making faster. And so if you download this repository to your desktop and you run the same files, it should work for you too. I do have instructions on here if you're on Mac versus PC. But what it does is I just have to copy and paste a bunch of the inputs into these files. And then I can do all my code on these part 1 and part 2 files and then run it into my output, my terminal. But yeah, I'm going to get started. Okay, so where does this puzzle start? I'm reading through admin of code. Should I copy and paste this? Yeah, I'll do it. So I'll put it here for now. All right, so here is today's puzzle. Day 1 of admin of code always reads through like how to participate, and they always have this like silly fun little story about why we're doing these coding puzzles. But to start at this year's puzzle, I think it's here. Okay. You arrive at the secret entrance to the North Pole base ready to start decorating. Unfortunately, the password seems to have been changed, so you can't get in. A document taped to the wall helpfully explains. Due to new security protocols, the password is locked in the safe below. Please see the attached document for the new combination. The safe has a dial with only an arrow on it. Around the dial are the numbers 0 through 99 in order. As you turn the dial, it makes a small click noise as it reaches each number. It's like a safe, okay. The attached document, your puzzle input, contains a sequence of rotations, 1 per line, which tells you how to open the safe. Rotation starts with an L or R, which indicates whether the rotation should be to the left, to the lower numbers. It's a safe. Then the rotation has a distance value, which indicates how many clicks. Okay. So if the dial we're pointing at 11, and oh, here's like an example. L60. Here's an example of the instructions. So the dial is pointing at 11. A rotation of R8 would cause the dial to point at 19 because it goes right to 19. A rotation of L19 could cause it to point to 0. Because the dial is a circle like on a safe, turning the dial left from 0 makes it click over to 99, just like a safe. So if the dial were pointing at 5, a rotation of L10 would cause it to point to 95. After that, a rotation of R5 would make it go back to 0. The dial starts by pointing at 50. You could follow instructions, but your recent required official North Pole secret entrance security training seminar taught you that the safe is actually a decoy. The actual password is a number of times the dial is left pointing at 0 after any rotation in the sequence. For example, suppose the attached document contained the following rotations. And then following these rotations would cause the dial to move as false. And it's explaining how it got there. Analyze the rotations in your attached document. What's the actual password to the door? Okay, so I'm going to delete that because we're done reading it. For the example, I am just going to put that there. In the Advent of Code window, there's also the real, you know what, I won't get there. In case you've never done Advent of Code, I won't spoil the actual input that we have to analyze, because we're going to solve for example first, this first example. So we have to create code that would simulate these actions. So see how it says it starts at 50. It needs to go left 68 clicks, which would make it land on 82 because it would wrap around. Then go left again 30 to get 52, etc., etc. And in this example, it lands on 0 3 times. So the answer is 3 for this example. So we need to create code that replicates this behavior and comes up with the answer of 3. Okay, so I will start it off with let current position equal 50, because that's where we're starting. Do I need to do any other setup? No, let's go for it. All right, so for every line of the input, which is being read from that file, this file, and in fact, I'll just do some quick tests because I honestly haven't prepared much, so I want to make sure this is still working. For input I, let's run that. Okay, cool. It's reading every single one. Okay, so for every input, we need to take the number, so we need to drop the first character. And what would be the best one? I just Googled. What would be the best one? Slice? Substring? I'll do slice. So let's test what the input would be for I and slice 1. Okay, so that's doing it. And then we want to do two number? No, 2 integer? What is it? Gosh, I have not done much in a while. Is it just I keep thinking of two value. It's not 2 value, it's parse int. Never mind, sorry. Oop, I should not delete. Parse int. All right, it's there. Yellow numbers, integers. Okay, perfect. And also, I'm just FYI to you all, I am not going to try to solve this the most efficient way. I'm just trying to solve it, period. So if I'm not coding in the best way, that's fine. just FYI. Okay. So for every line in the input, we want if we want to also grab the first letter, which would then be that. Oh, we could just do the search for the letter. Okay, so if input I'm gonna get tired of typing that. Should I? No, I'll do it, whatever. Dot index of the letter L is more than -1. So if it's found, then current position is plus, no, if we're going left, it's going up. Okay. Else, okay, and also why I'm always like, I'll be wordy because we'll get to part 2 eventually, and you'll see why I have to be wordy, because you never know what being verbose will help you with in this game. Okay, but because of the loop, we can't just do it this way. Let me just test the code, make sure it's working. Oh, I didn't log anything. Okay, so according to the example, wait, was left correct? Hey, Fodor, what's up, dude? Did I do that right? Should it be the other way around? Okay, I think that's right. Yeah. Turning the, if I'm looking, I can just read the instructions. I'm an idiot. All right. L, whether the rotation should be to the left, toward lower numbers. Okay, duh. Read the instructions, Earl. Okay, but because negative doesn't work, we can't just do absolute value, because that just wavers back and forth. So I'd mod this? Yeah, I'd mod it. So modulo, oh, but it's still, no, I need to modulate it afterwards. So current position equals current position, then mod it. Oops, not mod, 100. Do I need the absolute value also? I guess so. I would want the absolute value after the modulation. So okay, does that match the code? 18. Wait, no. No, it's not supposed to be 18. How did I get to 18? Oh, no, it's not wrapping. Okay, so I can't do it this way. So I already had a snag. What I was doing was, when it gets to 0, it goes to -1, -2, -3. It needs to go to 99. So in that sense, if this is, I'm hitting a negative 18, which needs to be taken away from 100. So if current position is less than 0, current position equals less than 1. To if it's less than 1, then it's 100 plus current position. Otherwise, it's just current position. And then for this one, this is where we can just mod. All right, so if that's the case, then we don't need this line at all anymore. All right, does this match? 82, 52, 0, 95, 55, 100. Oh, there's a problem with the 100. This needs to say 0. Current position. How do I mod it? If it is 100. That's a cheap way of doing it. Oh wait, it's still. This should have came back as 0. Okay, so I have 55 according to the example, left 55 to point at 0. Yeah, so it should have done this. Added 50. Oh, sorry, this one. Which one am I looking at? Yeah, okay. And then subtract 55. If the current position is less than 1, it's not. Oh, okay. I think I need to do it here. Oh, was I supposed to do 100 minus here? Oh, no, because it's a negative number. Oh, this should be 0. Okay, there it goes. 82, 52, 0, 95, 55, 0, 99, 0, 14, 32. Perfect. It matches the exact sequence of the example. So my output exactly matches 82, 52, 0, 95, 55, 0, 99, 0, 14, 32. Perfect. Okay, so if I go back to here, can comment that out because what we're actually checking for is let actual password equal 0, and every time if current position equals 0 equals 0, actual password increments, and then we log actual password. It should be 3. Okay, don't need to do that each time. I'll move that out of that loop. 3. Okay, so we have created code according to the example. Yay! Now the fun part. When you go to adminofcode.com, the first puzzle, there's a button at the very bottom that says, to begin, get your real puzzle input. And I will take my real puzzle input, and it's not the same for everybody, so you can't all just cheat. We can't all just copy each other's answers. You have to actually write the code out. I'm gonna put in the code. The example is 10 lines long. The input is 4,753 lines long. So, whereas you might have been able to manually solve the example, it is almost impossible to manually solve the actual input that you're processing, which is why you have to write code. And so that's part of the puzzle. And so what I'm going to do now is go up here, and I'm switching this to use example. No, false. So now I've told my terminal to run the same code, but for the input text file. And I will do that now. And apparently, according to this input file, my password is 1010. And so I will stop sharing my screen, go back to admin of code, and we're going to input that to see if I was right. Okay, so I am going to take my code and submit it. That's not the right answer. Your answer is too low. All right, so I got it wrong. So now we troubleshoot. Why did I get it wrong? What went wrong? So let me just copy and paste my input text file again to make sure I didn't break anything. And then let's go back to work. I know Captain Mannerings is like drum roll, and I'm like womp womp womp. All right, welcome to admin of code. This is real life, right? We're going to debug until we figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to rerun this just to make sure I got the same answer. Okay, 1010. I am going to set this back to true to go back to the example. It is 3. Let me compare. Okay, so it starts at 50, 82, 52, 0, 95, 55, 0, 99, 0, 14, 32, and then the answer, 3. So one thing I'm acknowledging is I did write this line to fix that 100 situation, and I added this one, not sure if I needed to. So let's just go back and get rid of, well, you know what? Let's not just get rid of it. Let's comment that out and then get rid of it on a new line. So like I kind of like safeguarded both sides, but I'm not sure if I had to. Okay, so that input's still the same for the example. Gets the right answer. Now let's see if we get a different answer for the actual input. Nope, it's the same answer, so it's still incorrect. What's the actual? Okay. So, you know what? Should we? If I is equals to 100, return. I am going to go ahead and log the first 100 steps to see if there's any weird things popping out. All right, so looking at the example text or the input text, let's go back. So if it starts at 50, going right adds, okay. So 50 plus 29 is 79 is correct. Plus 6 should be 85, which is correct. 85 minus 43 is 42, correct. Minus 6 is 36, correct. Plus 28 is 64, correct. Okay, so far it's looking fine. So where could it potentially have gone the wrong way? Yeah, so yeah, Captain. Oh, look at that. This might be why. All right, so this is the fun part. The input not only has a ton of lines, it also has numbers that are surpassing 100. So I need to make sure my code still solves properly for that. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't, because this code is assuming it will never get past 100. This one will work for adding, but it's this line needs to be better, because yeah, it was assuming it's less than 100, and so it was subtracting that number from 100. Oh, you know what we could do? This is actually okay code, but we need to loop it. All right, so instead of that, we're going to say if current position is less than 0, we'll say while current position is less than 0, current position we'll do, oh yeah, okay, equals 100. I think that's it. Okay, so just to be sure, let's go back to the example and run that. Okay, that's right. I'm going to get rid of this test breaker. Comment out that because it's going to be massive. Okay, so 3 is still correct. So, oh, okay, sorry, I didn't talk it out. The code was correct for if it's less than 0, we need to wrap it around back to a positive number. But because L could be like 1,000, every time it needs to, like it'll add 100, but it's still negative. So it needs to keep adding 100 until it gets back to positive. I'm sure there's an easier way to do that, but whatever. That's the way I did it. Let's just see how it is. Oh, I gotta switch it back to false. Okay, so 1,191. I'm not gonna change screens. I'm just gonna check if it's right. Answer equals 1,191. Submit. That's the right answer. Okay, so I'll show you what it looks like. Yay. Okay. That's the right answer. You are 1 gold star closer to decorating the North Pole. And so the fun part is, if I go back to my main page, I have a little star, yay. And if you join our leaderboard, which there's instructions inside the GitHub repository, you can see the progress of everybody else. And nobody's participating this year because we didn't advertise it and we didn't encourage people to do it. So nobody's doing it this year, which is sad, because we used to all race each other every day. But everyone has lives now. But we didn't organize people this year because of all the travels that our team has been doing. But yeah, you get a star, you get a score for how fast you were able to solve it and compared to the other people participating. But yeah, you can join our leaderboard, see who's gotten puzzle stars and stuff like that. But let's get back to the puzzle. Okay, so now that we finished part 1, we can say continue to part 2. I know. Darn work and lives. I blame my 3 and 5-year-old children. No. Okay. Part 2. So this is the fun part. Part 2 is always a significant increase in difficulty. And it requires you to rethink how you did all of your coding. All right, you're sure that's the right answer, but the door won't open. You knock, but nobody answers. You build a snowman while you think. As you're rolling the snowballs for your snowman, you find another security document that must have fallen into the snow. Due to newer security protocols, please use password method 0x434C49434B until further notice. Remember from the training seminar that method means you're actually supposed to count the number of times any click causes the dial to point at 0, regardless of whether it happens during a rotation or at the end of one. Following the same rotations as this above example, the dial points at a 0 a few extra times during its rotation. Okay, I see what's going on. In this example, the dial, because every time so those instructions where it's like looping 100 times. Wait, the dial is rotated L68 to point to 82. During this rotation, it points at 0, 1. So yeah, okay. So anytime it crosses over the 0 threshold is actually when you're supposed to record it. All right, so we get to use the same example ones. I have an example 2 here just in case it gives us a new example to play with. But I'm going to take my existing code and jump over to my part 2, just because I like to keep them separated. And we're going to start playing with this file, which is pointing to, needs to point to example 1 again. So for my existing code, all I have to do here, because technically this is saying that it looped over. So here I can actually just say actual password increments. So that's helpful because see how being more verbose in your code helps in the future stuff. But this one doesn't track how many times it goes over. I guess I could do the same as this. It's probably the easiest. Well, current position is greater than 99. Current position minus 100 and actual password increments. And this stays the same. So if I run this for the example, it should be, oh, thank you, Diet Sprite. All right, I was on the wrong screen. All right, so what I was saying is I moved my code to part 2. This code wouldn't work because it is getting rid of the times we loop around. So instead I copied this and just moved it to here and reversed it. And if I run this, It should say 6. Oh, it gave me an error. That's lovely. Cannot find module React. Oh, my template file is apparently not synced up. I need to fix that. 9. Okay, that's incorrect. That's cool. It's recording it too many times. I'm guessing because the real answer is, the example answer is supposed to be 6, and I got 9. I might be reading this too many times. Now let's debug it with all right. All right, so according to example text, the dial starts at pointing at left at 50. The dial is rotated L68 to 0.82, but during this rotation, it clicks over once. So that's click 82. The dial is rotated L30 to point at 52. Nothing happens. The dial is rotated to R48, which is a 0. It clicks. The dial is rotated to R60 to point at 55. During this rotation, it points at 0 once. Wait, did I skip an instruction? 52. Oh, R48 to point at 0, click. L5 to point at 95. Oh, why did it click here? It clicked twice here. It shouldn't have clicked at all. Because between 52 and 0, there's a click. 95, 0 to 95 should not have any clicks. So this is incorrect. We'll do left click, right click, and a 0 click to be more verbose on the console logs. Okay, so I get it. I'm getting a rogue 0 and left click in between 0 and 95. Okay, so it's going negative and then adding 100, which does oh, I see why it's doing it. Okay, so because it has already clicked here, it shouldn't have been registering it on this one because it's already on 0. It's registering it as it's moving off of 0. That's why. get rid of those. Okay, I'm starting at 50. I'm going left 68 times and it clicks. Go left another 30 to 52, no clicks. I go right to 48. Which adds 100, but needs to wrap around to 0. Okay, so if current position equals 100, if it it's not 100, then it's a click past. And this one, if current position equals 0, actually, do I need that one? Let me just run it. Oh, now I have 4, so that's even way off. Lovely. Oh, wait, no. What? Why do I only have 4 now? Let me just try it. Current position equals to 0. Does not equal to 0. Eight. Huh? Well, this should never run. Okay, so I'm doing the code wrong. That shouldn't ever happen anyways. I need to not do this one because it's going to record it at the check if it's at 0. You know what? What if I just get rid of this? That's 6. 6 is correct. So instead of, what I'm recording now is every single time the dial clicks onto 0, whether it's stopping or moving on, is when it's recording. And I got rid of the recording of checking if it's at 0. All right, let's try with the. Oh, I forgot to take off the console log. It ran fast though. That's good. 6,835. All right, let's see if it worked. 6,835. Submit. That's not the right answer. Your answer is too low. Okay. Luckily, we have a incredibly long console log that we could play with and look at right now. All right, puzzle input's the same. Let me make sure there's the times where it clicks many times. All right, so on the 97th number or something like that, there's 304. And it clicks 3 times because it should loop 3 times, right? 41 minus, hold on, plus, is R plus? Yeah, plus. R is plus. 41 plus 304 would be 345. And every time it's above 345 or above 99, it subtracts 100. So it clicks 3 times, 345, 245, 145, 45, and then stops. So it properly reads 3 clicks as it lands on 45. Oh, look. There's a 0 in here, but it didn't get recorded. Okay, so what line is that? If this was this instruction, here, this instruction started at 0 plus 41. This instruction was at 84 minus 84 hits 0. Okay, so this instruction at 84, it goes, the current position's 84, and it's left 84, so 84 minus, so here, 84 is not, oh, okay. It's not recording the times where, I see. While it's not recording the times where it doesn't loop around, but still lands on 0. So we'll say let looped equals false, and we'll set looped equals false to each to false each input, and if it ever loops looped becomes true. And here we bring this code back. If current position equals 0 and looped is false, then still record the 0 click. So let me run that for, okay, here's the click for 0. And it doesn't seem to be adding extra clicks. Okay, we're good. I think we're good. So let me get rid of this test line. Take off the log, run it. Oops. Those logs are messy. $7,327. I also was not sharing that screen that whole time, so thanks. Anyways, I'll show my screen. I appreciate everybody watching that, but not actually paying attention. Anyways, it's not even the right screen. Really should have a hangout with the producer on this one. Okay, so what I changed is I added a let looped equals false indicator or a flag, and every loop for the input string, or every line of the input sets it back to false, because if it ever loops, we set it to true. And then at the end, we brought our code back in to check if it's at 0 and checked if we never looped, and then click. And we got 7,327. So let's test that. $7,327, still too high. All right. So I got to debug this some more. All right, so we have a range. I was too low on one and too high now on this one. Let me make sure this works for my example code still. Oh, it doesn't. Interesting. All right, so let's fix it for the example. See what went wrong. All right, starts at 82. Oh, I mean, as we go to 82, it clicks once, correct? Then we go to 52, then we go to 0, and it clicks, correct? Then we go left 5. Oh, shit. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is, but I realize I have to go. So thanks, everybody. Have a good one. I'll solve this and put it back. Oh, they hung up. Okay, never mind. We're good. The phone call hung up. It clicked moving off of the 0. All right, there's that call. I'm going to end the stream. Gotta go. I'm going to solve it and post it on the thing. Thanks, everyone.